Hi guys, this is Sidney. So today I'm feeling really guided to share some channel messages that I have been receiving and processing the past days since my last video on YouTube. And also to help you balance your chakras, heal your chakras, or activate your chakras using your voice, because you are the instrument itself, the vessel itself, that you can do this anywhere you are, anytime you need it. And it is being really called for right now, especially now, as a lot of people in the collective is going through another phase of spiritual awakening. So earlier this year, I remember mentioning, as I was channeling with Source and Gaia, that the cycle of death and rebirth is going to be very much shortened. So every moon cycle is going to be very important, and we can utilize this lunar cycles to go through death and rebirth. And if it was taking for about a year or 12 months, 24 months, the cycle is going to be shorter, like 6 months, 3 months, or something like that. So that is exactly what has been taking place since the beginning of this year, based on all we have been going through. So I'm just guided to mention that for some reason, to help anyone who needs this message at this time. So I'm just going to let my intuition guide me through whatever that comes, because I had a lot of things processing and I also worked with a lot of different timelines simultaneously. So I'm just going to work with the divine at this time, and not let anything that comes in divine timing be the message under divine guidance. So as always, tune into your own intuition and take however resonates for you and make discernment that way, so that you keep your power to yourself. Okay, you keep your sovereign power to yourself. So we are in the month of 6, the energy of 6 right now, that's in Gemini season, and we are soon to have the full moon in the Gemini season that is going to be in Capricorn. So there's going to be the air and earth energy, and the air representing the upper chakras and the earth representing the lower chakras. And what I'm receiving is the air representing where we are heading to the age of Aquarius, the light, and the Capricorn representing the energy of Saturn, the structure, the soul code, the idea of karma that we have, meaning what you put out, you receive in return. Therefore, there are a lot of things that we are having to look into in terms of our own patterning. Patterning meaning structure, meaning the Capricorn energy, the backbone. Okay, so that's why we've been working very much on rooting our energies for the past 2-3 months, which are shared in my previous videos, to prepare ourselves for this full moon. And then we are going to go through another phase with different energies to prepare ourselves for another culmination point or awakening point, however you resonate with your unique journey at this time. And just a reminder, once again, that the key to elevating your frequency is in honoring your own journey and honoring yourself. That allows you to also honor others. That is in tied to the energy of unconditional love. So you love someone the way they are, meaning you love yourself the way you are, meaning there's no comparison. And that comparison energy is very much the energy of the duality experimentation. So the idea of good, the bad, right? So you're right or wrong. And we are having to release all of that by remembering constantly. So you want to keep honoring your journey. it doesn't matter where you are in your healing journey or empowerment journey. It's not to wrong you or it's not to judge you, but to allow yourself to be all that you are. If that's the shadow aspect that is arising as well. Do not fear your anxiety. Do not fear your fears. Do not fear feelings of guilt. Do not fear that if you look into what you've been avoiding, meaning denying, you're afraid that it might be that, right? That's why we are in denial of our own denials. So the reason why you do that is because we are afraid that if I look at it, I may be that I'm scared of, which is the fear-based belief system operating on duality. So that's why we escape, we avoid, we deny, and we postpone looking into it, right? We put it aside. So right now, the Gemini represents the air energy, very much intellectual, like mental energy that can be very curious, that has the energy of versatility, adaptability, and it also represents change, communication, movement, and also when it's not balanced, it could be expressed as anxiety, nervousness, restlessness. That's governing the lung and all this area right here. So what we are being called to right now, that I received from Source for me to share at this time, is to use our breath and sound of our voice to bring alignment as we go through and navigate through these energies of changes, which I'm going to explain what that is soon. And that you want to regulate your nervous system further down, because you may experience a lot of feelings of restlessness or feeling like you need to rush something, or that fear of missing out feeling, or the lack mentality where you are chasing after something out of desperation, out of lack, that it's not going to be there anymore, that you're going to miss out if you don't do something right now, or that if you don't figure something out right now and conclude it and have that certainty, which is the idea of control in that sense, you might miss the window of opportunity, all these ideas that is based on lack. So right now, the reason why it may be coming up to the surface is for you to recognize these structures, the Capricorn, meaning the patterns that you've been living under survival. So right now, the reason why a lot of people in the collective may feel these feelings of restlessness, confusion, or in between, like tiptoeing, or it's like what I was being shown with in my psychic vision was like any kind of a board where you have to balance. When you were a child, you perhaps, used to playing, like there's board that you ride on the ground, or if you're a surfer, or if you are a snowboarder, you may experience this, right? You have to learn to balance. And then in order to balance, it's like you have to bring the energy towards yourself first and foremost. You can't constantly focus yourself in all these different directions, which could represent as restlessness, meaning you could be in a way right now what may be taking place in the collective is that with the Capricorn energy that is present right now, especially with the full moon, that we are being called to release. You may have been experiencing since the early June that revisitation of the past, meaning it could come up as a past memory as you're watching something, or suddenly a memory popping up again, or certain people, situations coming up to the surface, and it could be like physical, or it could be just mental, or it could be just emotional, however it comes. And the purpose behind for them coming up is for you to shed light on these patterns that we've been operating, or you've been operating, that may have a unique theme for you, because everyone is unique, and that you're shedding light onto it so that you are able to integrate them. And then what would be the word? It's not the embracing of the shadow anymore, but the shadow aspect is now how can I explain? It's more of the dissolving of the shadow with the light. So integrating is basically you are embodying it, you are acknowledging it, you're recognizing that through reflection. And once that phase is complete, then now what you're being called to do on a collective level, or if you feel like you're not in that level yet, you're doing a lot of shadow work and, you know, ego death and all of that with triggers, then this is like a heads up for you, is what I'm guided to share, that after that, this is what you will be going through in the next phase. That we are having to operate on light, as all the solar flares and light codes that have been very heavy in July, especially the past 2 weeks. It's been really, really intense. So depending on your own vibration of where you are with your frequency, some of you may be experiencing like exhaustion or lethargy or physical symptoms where you just feel like you can't operate on a normal routine basis because you're feeling so tired, exhausted, or you are constantly hearing something and you're experiencing brain fog or lack of energy that you can't even exercise. And sometimes it's even hard for you to take a walk outside. It's because the more your frequency is dense with old energies filled up and the new energies coming in, and now it's very much higher frequency, it's rising and rising, it's really going to trigger these shadow aspects for you to release. And for us to, that process requires a lot of you to be in a state of receptivity. But if you are just awakening and going through like a really serious phase of healing, I would say, doing inner child work or being triggered left and right, then you may be forced to surrender because you're not used to being in that state. So, and your body is very much tense with a lot of nervous system constantly like trying to hold on to something to have that sense of safety. And so you may be sleeping a lot. You may feel like you want to sleep more. You could be sleeping from 12 hours very easily to 16 or more, depending on your frequency, is what I'm guided to share. And for those of you who have gone through these phases the past couple of years, you may experience these physical symptoms lighter, but still you are called to be in a state of ease as much as possible while working through this energy of restlessness or any anxieties or fears may show up, so that as you are being in the state of relaxation that we call resting, right, in human language term, but actually resting, we immediately think of it as not doing anything, taking a break. But the idea of resting is that it's not that you're taking a break from something, which means that it's not a normalized state, right? So we need to redefine this, is what I'm guided to share by source, going into the new consciousness, that this idea of resting simply means you're just being and existing and flowing, is how you want to reverbalize in this energy of Gemini, where we are having to look into all this different these ways of communicating, and also it is to bring new light so that we can transform all these energies that we've been used to utilizing or communicating out of automation, is what I'm guided to share. So just being conditioned, so we are saying it. So for example, what I'm being guided to share, which I received the information of before, was the word I love you, right? Love. And especially in spiritual community, you know, we exchange the words of love and light quite often. And the source has been showing me certain things. And sometimes it could be different in different cultures, but especially a lot of it in, I'm guided to share the energy in America. Has to be a lot of clearing, and that it's been used automatically. So it's like, love you guys, and then quickly rushing off, or just like, it's like almost used as saying bye, or bye bye, or see you next time, but love you guys. So what I'm being called to share is that we need to really look into these little details of the vocabulary or the words, because the vocal cords, the sounds that is going to expand is connected to our heart center, meaning the opening up, expansion of the cosmic heart that is related to the Christ consciousness energy. Right now it's very important that we want to be more aware of the words that we use, and we want to use our conscious awareness to say what we mean and mean what we say, which is the sincerity, and that's going to purify that energy that had been anchoring down. Okay, that superficiality, for example, or the manipulation, that someone may be thinking or believing that, well, I have very pure intention, and I'm just saying everything because, you know, that's what I mean. And if that is how you feel, is completely fine. But if something is resonating with you or triggering, then you may want to look into the words that you say automatically, and whether you are saying it when you mean it. It's like how can I say? The truth needs to be spoken. Okay, so everything has to be more aware, bring into the light of consciousness, is what I'm guided to share. Because every word that we speak anchors down certain frequencies on Gaia. So especially the people in the spiritual community, like healers or readers, psychics, right? We want to be extra aware of the words that we use, that have been anchored or automatically being used in the age of survival and in the age of duality. And that also somehow the idea of spiritual ego has been coming up again, where it may sound very innocent, but a lot of the times, I mentioned this previously, that because you went through a lot of pain and suffering to come to a certain point to help others, and now you could become very overprotective. And what I'm guided to share is that overprotection is also a form of control. So over giving, over protecting, over nurturing, anything to that extent, you may be creating followers because you may be creating attachment. And it's something that can be very sensitive or tricky, but I'm guided to mention this to further expand our Christ consciousness energy. And so that a lot of the people in the spiritual community, you may have already spiritual gifts and practices, and we're all healing to one degree or another in a very unique way. And you are to continue to reflect, continue to evolve, continue to grow with all these energies, so that a lot of the wounds from feeling unimportant, feeling unheard, now that you are being heard, now that you are being seen, it's important that to remind ourselves to be aware of the spiritual ego, that you don't want to present yourself intentionally or unintentionally, that you have more important things to say compared to other people who need your guidance or advice or unique gifts and talents that you are sharing. Because that is going to create attachments, meaning followers. And Yeshua never wanted followers. The sovereignty is about the decentralized world, the power within. The age of Aquarius, the age of light, is about finding your power within, the God within, the divine within, that we all have within. So when we're in that energy of the ego in the spiritual aspect, what could happen is unintentionally or intentionally, you could present yourself as someone higher or superior, or more important. Okay, so that's something that you may want to be very, I would say, attentive. And something that I'm also guided to mention is that when you are reviewing these things and reflecting, you don't want to guilt trip yourself or judge yourself at the same time, which can be hard to get for certain people. But that's what the source wants me to share. So it challenges you to expand our consciousness in the collective. Okay, so you want to look at it without judging yourself. You want to look at it from evaluating yourself with the idea of right or wrong. So you did wrongdoing, you did right doing, because that's easily going to lower your vibration, and then it could distract you, is what I'm guided to share. And so all of these areas in terms of communication, all of that energy. And so what we are being called to do is to, by looking at these old structures with the air energy, we want to go higher to shed light from a higher perspective, is what I'm guided to share in Gemini season. And also what has been coming up was the past week or two, was the energy from the traditional tarot, the Lover's card. So when you look at the traditional tarot, the Lover's card, you will see the naked female figure, naked male figure, and there's this like so-called the divine energy above. So the two pillars and one. So that's the energy that we are in right now, the Lovers, especially in the energy of 6, the energy representing the energy of balance, harmony. Is that the major theme in the collective that could be expressed in different ways? But the major theme is that we are now integrating the divine masculine and the divine feminine aspect within ourselves to bring into that equilibrium point, to the 0 point, which I mentioned in my latest video. which I'm going to share the link to for anyone who is drawn to watch and resonating. Okay, so we've been doing intense healing since last October, last fall, in order with working with the moon energy, the sun energy, all this cosmic energy support, the divine feminine healing, the divine masculine healing, divine feminine healing, divine masculine healing. And now we're at this point in sixth energy where we are having to balance this energy out further along. So you integrate that even more so into your energy body. That is the union within. So that's where the most important relationship that you need to cultivate and nurture is the relationship with yourself, because everything on the outside is reflection of the energy vibration that you hold, that you are. Okay, and as we do so, what is happening is we are not really bringing out these aspects per se, which we sometimes describe as in human language term, but in essence, in energy term, you already embody the balance. You already embody the core source energy within your signature. But because we've been programmed in the experimentation of the darkness, the duality, the ideas of the right and the wrong, right, the better and the worse, that we are constantly operating on these belief systems. And because we are being governed by these ideas of duality, we are afraid to look at that you perceive as wrong, because you don't want to find out that you are this wrong in actuality, which is an illusion, but that's the fear. So we are having to release that you are in denial of your own denial, because you are afraid to look into something that you may identify yourself as bad or worse or failure, or you are not good enough, or you're missing out on, or you did something wrong. And that's going to really hurt, in a way, your ego. So that's why facing the shadow aspect can be very challenging, but everyone is capable of doing so. And what I'm guided to share is, when you are doing this, and it doesn't matter where you are in the healing journey or empowerment journey, something that I'm guided to share is that whenever you are experiencing anxiety, okay, for example, whenever you're experiencing fear, if you are experiencing this restlessness and feeling of rush, that you need to know something, you want to know the answer to something, you want the solution to something, so you can move forward, for example, which is very much common, or something that we can all relate to, right? Is that you want to own your anxiety, right? We talk about owning your feelings and owning your emotions. And to own simply means allowing yourself to feel the emotions. And from my own experience and from my experience with working with other people one-on-one, helping them in my previous, times, something that I learned is people have a very much, it's that we automatically tend to flight, because we are afraid. We are afraid to look into it, because we don't want to face ourselves that I am that. And that is terrifying, right? And that is the idea of acceptance, accepting yourself. And in order for you to do that, and the reason why we may be terrified to do that is because of the duality concepts that you may be holding on to in your subconscious, of the right or wrong. So a lot of the logical mind that a person may be operating on could be blocking oneself from facing their shadow aspects. And so one way to do it is to ask this simple question: You can ask your higher self, you can ask your guardian angel, you can ask your spirit team or universe, divine, however you resonate, okay? You can ask, help me to recognize what it is that I need to see and recognize or realize, okay? Then with that, you're just going to let it go. You're not going to search for answers. And when you're just going about your days, you're going to use these words. I'm grateful and I'm very excited and curious to learn what I can learn through these feelings of fear or through feelings of guilt, through feelings of anxiety right now. I'm grateful and excited to learn more. Okay, so that is the energy that you want to align with. And when that happens, what happens is you are on a subconscious level seeing the shadow aspect and the shadow experiences and your role in that as a victim or however you resonate, the trauma, the wound itself has some sort of value in that experience. The reason why we deny or avoid is because we are just focusing on fear so much. I'm afraid that I might be that. I'm afraid that I might experience that. And the reason why I experience that pain is because I identify myself as wrong, okay, or that's bad. So when you say, what can I learn from the situation? Okay, which is also the energy of Capricorn that you can utilize. And interestingly, this year we are going to have the full moon in June in Capricorn. And again in July, we are going to have the full moon in Capricorn again, which is also representing that we are really being called and being pushed with all the solar flares and intense light codes and healing codes that we are being supported with to release further intensely and release a lot. Okay, and we are also going to have the Pluto going into Capricorn briefly for the last time this year. So this year is going to be a lot of that release in order for us to bring into the equilibrium point, the purification that I also mentioned in previous videos. So right now, that's divine masculine and divine feminine energies that you may have been healing to a certain degree, and this one to a certain degree, and now you are, based on what you learned, you're going to have also, by reviewing or any leftovers coming up to the surface, it is helping us to merge. Helping us to merge, meaning like dance. So it's like dancing, when we are dancing, like so it's more like the flowy energy of Neptune that we are being called to use. So actually what came was, since a few days ago, the Gaia has been calling me to connect with the dragons quite a bit. And yesterday, while I was in nature, grounding and meditating and connecting with Gaia and Source, the dragons came through. So the water dragon, fire dragon, air dragon, and earth dragon. And then that was relating to the Merkaba activation, which I mentioned in the previous video. The triangle upward and triangle downward. So in 2024, if there's 2024 marbles and we are topping it up to build the pyramid, the very last 2024th marble will be on top of the pyramid. So that's the energy that we are in right now, meaning we are, by balancing the left and the right, these two eyes representing the duality, one representing the feminine and the masculine, meaning the giving and the receiving, that is the energy of flow, but we've been overly on this side or that side, right? it's not balanced, though we are in illusion, right? We are not seeing things clearly. So in order for us to see things clearly here, to activate this third eye, the triangle here, that's the boom, 2024th energy, boom, activating this third eye, lighting up the third eye that represents the light, meaning you are going to see through the illusion with your light. Okay, so that's why a lot of the light expansion is taking place. So that's the importance of this. So that in tarot cards, traditional tarot, the lover is representing that female figure as the divine feminine, the masculine as the male figure, but they're both naked, which means purification. So we needed to purify this energy of the wounded feminine and purify the energy of wounded masculine to come to the divine feminine, divine masculine, and that would activate the all-seeing eyes, the flow in balance point. That is in traditional tarot what you see as the higher realm, this like angelic figure above them all. And you will see the big red when you look at the card representing the root chakra energy, that you are grounded at the same time. So the energy of heaven on earth in human language terms simply means our chakras are embodying more light, and it is anchored down to that of Gaia. That is simply the meaning of heaven on earth at this time. The meaning of that on an energetic term is what I'm going to share, is because when we say heaven on earth, it's tied to a lot of the energies or the text or the meaning or the interpretation from the religious text that has been anchoring down, and that has been creating certain images in the people's mind that we need to dissolve. Okay, so that's why I'm mentioning both of these words in an education purposes, that when we say heaven down on earth, we immediately think that heaven is better and hell is, all these ideas are simultaneously going on, and you carry your ancestors' energies as well. And so in order for us to release or dissolve all of these energies, I'm being guided to speak or communicate in a more neutral way, but also at the same time bring old meaning for understanding purposes at this time, so that it simply means aligning your chakras, lighting up your chakras. Okay, the chakras are energy points like windmills. When we bring air to it, what happens with the windmill? It turns and it creates energies. It's a generating power. That's the power within our engineering. That is this body. And so what I received was in some ancient temples in India, they had this knowledge. And so they used the technology of the chakras and the locations, the energy they used to build a temple just with that, with the same imprint, the energy points of here and this, and so it creates certain energies. So for example, like if you create a pyramid triangle with copper, for example, and you put vegetable inside, it's going to help it wither, wither or stay fresh longer, because that is creating certain energies when we put the triangle. So in India, they use this method that you build certain triangle to, it's like they were very in India, they were very much aware of the energies. So especially the moms wouldn't let other people touch the food, because they understood how energy works. And when they cook, the best cooking is, a lot of the times is mother's cooking, and it's very simple recipe, but it tastes different. Is because there's a lot of love into it. For example, like mother loving their children, and with that, when they're cooking in that energy, and when you taste the food, it tastes different. Okay, so that's why when you are very energy sensitive, meaning like clear sentient and clear audience, like all these clear abilities that you have, that you're going to feel all these energies when you're outside, and that even with the food that you order in the restaurant, you're going to clear the energy up, because when a person who's cooking the food is in a agitated mood, that energy is transferred to the dish that they cook. It's just an example. It's how the energy is being transferred. So just like that, we are being called to integrate these energies. And right now, what is taking place in Gemini season, Gemini represents like a lot of changes, mutability. So we could feel restless, anxiety, nervousness, because it's like this and this and this and this, the duality aspect. But we don't know yet, right? What is this or this or this or this? So there could be a lot of the energy of weighing and confusion. And what I'm guided to share is not to rush into a conclusion unless you're aligned first. So the quotes that I received as a channel message representing the energy right now in Gemini season is that the energy right now is that you cannot change the wind, you cannot control the wind, but what you can control is how to set the sails. And that is representing not just going with the change, go with the flow. That's the could be misguided, okay? And the meaning behind that was, it's not what happens to you, but it's how you react to things. So you can always make better choices, meaning as you reflect on these old patterns. So we are dealing with a lot of the old energy and the new energy at the same time in Gemini season. The Gemini, right? The twins. So we are like tiptoeing between old and new, and at the same time, even though we have healed and we thought that we embrace certain aspects, all of a sudden these new feelings or old feelings of anxiety and fear could arise while we have embodied more love. And the reason why we have been embodying more love and doing all this heart opening, where I also shared in my previous video, all this heart opening, like transmission and all that stuff. So if it's relevant, I'm going to put the link as I review the past videos for anyone who needs it or resonate. Is that the source and Gaia want you to use that expanded heart energy when you are integrating or dissolving the fear energy. So the only way to dissolve fear is to bring love into it. So if you've been afraid of certain people recurring, or even in your memories, you want to look into, what am I afraid of? Okay, what am I afraid of? That is that you assume the role of powerlessness, meaning you assume the role of a victim in that moment. And so in that sense, you're complaining right now. Why are they coming up again? I don't want to look at it again. I don't want to feel this again, or this is uncomfortable, which is simply that we may be saying automatically out of automation in the old pattern structure in the Capricorn, right? The full moon in Capricorn energy is helping us to look at it so that we are like, oh, okay, I see that I've been identifying myself as a victim. I'm seeing myself as powerless. So that's why I'm waiting to be saved. or I'm trying to save someone because I perceive that that person is in a negative state. They're in a negative state that you need to save them from the situation is dishonoring on a neutral perspective where they are and where you are, and dishonoring their power within, because on a subconscious level, which could be tricky, that you are assuming that they don't have the power within themselves, you see, but they have the power, just like you have the power. And so while you are trying to save them, you are also dishonoring yourself, meaning choose them over you. So it's all tied like that, which is all the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies within. And right now, depending on which aspect you are healing more, which aspect you're dealing with more, for example, if you have a lot of wounded like Aries energies coming up, you could have a lot of this like over independence, and that is related to the fear of being abandoned. You develop this pattern, and there's a lot of fighting spirit in there, the warrior spirit that's being used to guard yourself, to protect yourself, to defend yourself. Therefore, it is you're going into the air, which the mentalism, constantly over-analyzing, overthinking, or being extremely logical, trying to make sense out of things to make sure that you are doing something right, you are choosing something right, you are making sure it's right so that you are not doing something wrong, meaning you're not wrong. You see, when you feel wronged by someone, that's pain, right? You don't like that. And so that is tied to that, as for example. But actually, before someone else does it, you're already doing that to yourself. Okay, that's one example of that masculine energy that you may be healing, or the divine feminine, where you are, and it's also tied to the divine feminine, where you're used to constantly taking care of everything by yourself. You had to grow up on your own. You had to be the parent ever since you're a little child, because the environment was not very protective and nurturing, right? Allowing your divine feminine to flourish, then what happens is you could be overly masculine, whether you're female or male, gender doesn't really matter, it's just the energy archetype, right? That it's hard for you to receive any support or receive any trust, receive any guidance, meaning surrender, which is related to the divine feminine energy of receiving. Okay, so that it's like this. You may use affirmations. I trust the divine. I'm always in the right time, at the right moment, at the right time, at the right place. And as you do this affirmation, is also helping you at the same time, when the energy is coming in for you to go really deep within your shadow aspect, you also want to reflect at the same time, so that you are looking into these aspects where you have been buying into certain belief systems that you are unworthy of receiving, meaning you are doubting God, or you are doubting universe, you are doubting higher forces, higher self, that you don't trust. So that we are in the energy of trying to figure everything out on our own constantly, even though we say, I trust the divine. If that's the energy that you're holding in your subconscious belief system, the energy is going to crash, meaning you're going to experience conflict, confusion, because one side is pulling towards trust, the other is pulling towards suspicion, guarding, allowing, right? Surrender, but then control. So that energy clash right now is taking place, or it could be taking place if you resonate, or playing out in a very unique way. So that what I was guided to do, like this morning, was when I woke up, I was feeling just really pulled to pull some dragon energies And then I have all these cards laid out here, and then I had to meditate with it, what the message was about, what's the message for the collective at this time. And we are working with a lot of different energies, the purple, the orange, the pink, the green, the blue. So it's the chakra energies that we are balancing out right now, and a lot of the emotion, the sacral, and then everything all together in mixture. And so when you are experiencing this, you want to with emotions, you want to work with water energies, water dragon energy. Or if you are dealing with a lot of lower energies, like lower distractions, and that is usually happening because you're giving your attention to something else, or you been giving your attention to that, and that was a pattern. Okay, so that you can transmute those negative energies with fire dragons, for example. And if you want to connect with your heart energy or cosmic heart, the rose pink dragon has been coming up. And for air dragon, for you to stay detached, meaning anything that we are attaching to that is relating to feelings of security and safety, that is the root chakra. The crown chakra cannot be opened. Okay, so it's all in Thai. So what I'm feeling called right now is that I'm going to share just briefly the dragon cards so you can work with them. And as you look at the cards, you can visualize these dragons coming through with that energy of the colors that you notice. The fire dragons, for example, the red. Okay, transmuting all this fear energy around you. And I'm going to show you the cards and quickly read the message, but I'm just reading the message for anyone to resonate, for anyone resonating, and it could be different for everyone, okay, because you could pick up different things and you could have different interpretations that may be for you uniquely. So I'm not going to try to interpret things for you so that you keep your power to yourself, but just to provide this tool and support at this time with the dragon realm that I'm connected to. Okay, so this is the fire dragon you may want to connect to. So if you're especially drawn to this, you may want to work with the fire energy. Something that you can do is you can light up a candle simply. And when you want to use candle, I recommend that you check how the candle is made. And so when you're burning the incense or something like that, make sure that it's not made of any chemicals inside, so you don't inhale. That's going to lower your vibration. So the message is, burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. Okay, so this is the message. And the second one that came was the golden solar dragon. So this is the energy, maybe connected to solar plexus if you're particularly working with that energy right now or clearing that energy up. Helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. So this is about the divine masculine energy that you may be healing from right now, that you want to embody that power within, that you may want to identify and recognize where you feel powerless and where you constantly identify yourself as a victim, and reprogram the subconscious belief system with your own voice, that is the words of your own new words, affirmations. Okay, another one. The next one is the water dragon. So this is the energy. So especially if you're connected to water dragon, what I'm receiving is that you may have had a lifetime, especially as you resonate with this card, as you see it, you're clearing a lot of the karma from Atlantis, is what I'm receiving just as a channel message right now. Okay. So you don't have to know, you don't have to tap into the Akash to know all the details, but just be aware that you are also clearing that timeline as you are healing yourself, inner child or trauma. Everything is happening multidimensionally right now is what I'm also being guided to share. So you're doing a lot of work actually. So just be very gentle and kind with yourself is what I'm guided to remind yourself. And have that compassion that you give to others, also to yourself. Make sure that you are loving yourself as you heal, okay? So the message is helps you flow easily around obstacles. So this has to do with a lot of emotional energies, emotional blockages that you may be working on that may be blocking your heart. Perhaps you're working on your lower chakras. And I noticed the orange fish, which represents the sacral. So you may want to look into that area. The further message is Christ's light and love are flowing. Develop your psychic abilities. Go with the flow. So this energy you can utilize if you have a lot of fire dominant in your astrological chart or air fire dominant signs. You may want to use that energy of Pisces. Or that energy of Scorpio, but more so in this card, what I'm feeling is the Pisces energy to help you move through with that energy of compassion, empathy, and love and unconditional acceptance. So you can bring this softer energy to yourself if you're being harsh on yourself or judging. The next one is Black Dragon. Okay, so this is the card, this is the energy. The message is cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. So this is particularly what I'm guided to share is for you or for those of you who have been ending the chapter. You've been doing a lot of inner healing work and you are now activating your potential within, meaning you are embracing limitless within yourself. That is the soul aspect. You're starting to remember who you are, that you are eternal, meaning you are infinite, that you are limitless. So you are breaking free from that. So how you can use this energy or Black Dragon is as you're going through this metamorphosis phase and you may be seeing some butterflies, especially what I'm guided to share is the orange butterfly. If you've been seeing that, this may be a particular message for you that you, if you are drawn and resonate, you could call in Black Dragon and allow them to cocoon your energy and help you go into that transformation, okay, and help you awaken to your soul aspect, that is the divine self within, okay. And the next card that came was Source Dragon. So this is the energy. Messages attunes you to the infinite. Be still in the silence. Magic can happen. Be in the moment. So when you're resonating with this, what is coming down is that they want you to work on going in and being present, meaning connecting to this moment now, meaning bring all your distractions into your center so that you're aligned, that your mind is clear, your energy is clear, so that you're becoming a clear channel to source. That is also who you are, meaning you're connecting more to your inner self as well. So you could be a psychic, you could be a healer, you could be doing light language transmission, Reiki, however you resonate, or you don't have to be in this profession. You could be just working 9-to-5 jobs, or you're a student. What I'm guided to share is if you are drawn and resonating with this particular card, it's reminding you that all that you're seeking is in this present moment. So go within. If you're feeling restless, if you're feeling the lack, that energy of desperation, of chasing energy, go into the source, because you're always going to be sourced, okay? That is what is, all these messages are just coming out channeled. So the next card is the rose pink dragon. Okay, this is the energy. The message is, prepares your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. Open your heart to warm-hearted love and diamond light. Connect with the love of the universe. Okay, so if you're especially dealing with judgments, meaning you want to open up to unconditional love, meaning remember who you are, that is the unconditional self, and accept more of yourself, meaning accept, allow all aspects of yourself and not judge that this is better than the other, okay? Then, or you may be working with a lot of grieving of loss or losing something, or the idea of losing something, or that sadness that you have to let go. Then you may be working, the dragon may help you, the pink, rose pink dragon, and you may want to connect with like rose quartz or any pink colored crystals, morganite, rhodochrosite. All of these crystals could help you, support you. And also you may want to buy flowers, connect with flowers to open up your heart space, especially the rose, pink colored rose, okay, is what I'm guided to share. So that's how it can help you. And the next one is air dragon. The message is, helps you rise above earthly matters. Okay, so I'm going to show first. This is the, so this is going to open up and activate the upper chakra, the third eye, the throat here. So if you've been seeing like birds or parrots especially, it may be, there may be a particular message for you, is what I'm guided to share. And the number 3 is coming on very strong. If you've been seeing 3-3, 3-3-3, okay, somehow I'm guided to share those numbers. Message is, helps you rise above earthly matters. Communicate honestly, brings inspiration and hope. See life from a higher perspective. So when you are constantly feel like you have certain ideas about something and you're constantly breaking things down, analyzing, finding faults in situations and people, meaning like judging everything, which could be out of the survival pattern, which means that we are moving out of, which is also, we are like tiptoeing right now between love and fear, that you may be using that energy to defend. So you may be using your masculine energy to provide or protect, but rather to defend and to guard yourself, to protect yourself, which is leading to self-serving energy, which is the ego and the pride, which also is tied to the spiritual ego as well, wanting to feel more important than others. Okay, if you are gifted with certain abilities, you want to further look into that to elevate your energy and purify. Is what I'm guided to share for some reason. And so, for example, that's how it works. And so you want to look into the way you communicate. So this is in alignment with that message. Be conscious of, be more conscious, I would say, of whether what you say is what you mean and what you mean is what you say. That is in alignment, that is the purification. That is the union within, okay? So when you connect to this energy, you may be connected to the energy of Yeshua or Jesus. And after this, what I'm guided to share is doing all the chakra clearing using the sound. And this is coming up with the yam sound, okay? So you may be activating your third eye, also your throat chakra at this time, to embrace more of your authentic self, authentic expression, and to express yourself in truth. And you're no longer feeling confined by others' opinions or judgments, because you understand and you know who you are. At the same time, you understand the higher perspective that everyone is going through their own journey. So it has nothing to do with you, but everything is just a projection if that is coming to you. So you no longer identify, therefore you no longer resonate, therefore you're not going to react to that anymore. And if you are working on that, this is the energy that you may want to connect to, or the dragon, is what I'm guided to share. The next one is white gold dragon from Lyra. Okay, so this is the energy. So if you're connected to Lyra, if you had a lifetime in Lyra, you may resonate with this energy, and you may have ancestors, a spirit team supporting you from Lyra. You may connect to that energy, or you're being called to. So the energy, the message goes, connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your causal chakra. Bathe in ninth dimensional Christ light. Okay. So you want to visualize this beautiful golden white Christ light coming down, and also from this white gold dragon from Lyra pouring down. And so, and you're breathing in and breathing out, embodying this energy, okay? So that's something that you can do to activate your causal chakra, to embody that Christ light at this time. And this is for those of you who have reached a certain level of frequency in your vibration, is what I'm guided to share, okay? And the last one is Black Dragon from Saturn. So this is the energy. The message is, brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. Concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision. Congratulate yourself, you have passed a test. So if you're feeling called to work with Black Dragon from Saturn, especially, with this Capricornian energy that is present right now and throughout next month, is for you to celebrate yourself in a way. And this is for those of you, as a very particular group, perhaps the so-called the New Earth leaders that a lot of people are using in the spiritual community, that in a way you have done a lot of healing work with pure intentions, and there have been a lot of distractions coming your way purposefully in order for you to strengthen for the next chapter of your life, or of your soul mission or purpose, however you resonate. And so that now you have tapped into your inner strength and love, and with that challenge, you remembered who you are even more so, meaning embodying or getting closer to your soul signature, meaning unveiling more of those shadow or the matrix or the programming or the filtering, however you resonate, the duality programming, however you resonate, so that the source is calling you to embody further the spiritual aspect within yourself that you have awakened to and are now remembering, and then use that with wisdom to serve the greater good. So while focusing on the greater vision, at the same time, you went through a lot of challenges and difficult hurdles is what I'm going to share. So you removed your own blocks. So allow yourself to recognize yourself first and foremost and celebrate, meaning just giving a high five to yourself, saying good job, well done, you know. That the recognition that you need is coming from within first and foremost, okay? And celebrate, and that you have released a huge amount of karma in this lifetime and from many other lifetimes is what I'm going to share. So the burdens lifted off your shoulder, and it was you who did it, okay? So that is the message. So take however resonates. These are all the cards, and then you could work through these cards in different order or in the order of that came out that has certain themes. I believe is that transmuting, moving through, and then waking up, and then opening up third eye and more, receiving the Christ light, and then releasing a huge amount of karma. So you can move through in order as well. So take however resonates for you. What else? So actually, I was feeling also called to bring those Archangel cards that I pulled that I shared in my previous video. If I find the link, I'm going to put the link in the description box for those of you who want to utilize that. So to help you with this energy that you may be dealing with in the collective that may be unique, but that's coming up as major theme, that if you are dealing with a lot of feelings or the old ways of things, patterning, communicating, believing, that those situations and peoples and memories are resurfacing, that you're working on releasing and letting go. Archangel Lavender has been coming through. So you may work with Archangel Lavender, visualize, call upon Archangel Lavender. You may resonate with these colors here that you notice. And it's going to help you prepare for soul healing, forgive, and release. So basically, this is more of the releasing, forgiving, letting go of people and situations that if you want to work with anxiety, the value in anxiety or feeling anxiety is that you are owning your anxiety. And the reason why we say own it, what I'm going to share, is because you are the owner. That's the power within. When you feel like someone owes you something, you are in resentment, right? That you are in anger. And when you're in the position, you are a victim immediately. And therefore, when you own these feelings of anger or anxiety or fears, hatred, what you are doing is you are simply subconsciously telling yourself that you have the power within yourself, that nobody owes you anything, you owe no one nothing. That is the energy. But the karma, the wheel of karma, we go round and round. We do not elevate. It's just chasing after the tails, go round and round in the same circle. That is the wheel of karma. We need to get out of this for ascension. So we rise up, okay? So you may want to work with Archangel Lavender. And also the next, I was connecting to Archangel Aurora just before. I was connecting with all the archangels. And if you are drawn to Archangel Aurora at this time, you may be welcoming new change, new beginnings. You may work with this energy and the colors here that allow the energy of light to shine through, and embrace yourself. So you allow yourself to be seen and shine and radiate as who you are, that is authentic, that is unique, like everyone else. And it's not like, it has nothing to do with shining or outshining, which is another ego aspect or the spiritual ego aspect that I keep mentioning in this video. For some reason, I'm guided to keep mention that, to embody more Christ consciousness energy. Okay, so not to create followers, but we need to bring in the power within in every individual. And so that is also helping Gaia. As you embody more light, you can anchor down that light, and then the Gaia turns up in light and we move through the ascension all together. Okay, so we're all interconnected. So also right now, a lot of people, the frequency or the vibration may be different, but the goal that I'm guided to share is that we want to move to 200,000 cycles per second range of vibration from next year is what I'm guided to share. So that's all I'm guided to share. So I don't know, from 2025 to, I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if it's until 2032, 2033, but that's what I'm guided to share. And right now, people work on different ranges. So just know that everyone in the collective, if you're on Earth right now, doesn't matter how you are in social positions or anybody, we are all working uniquely with our own vibration. So once again, to embody the Christ consciousness energy, I keep mentioning, do not compare. Honor yourself, honor others for where they are. Okay, it's keep coming up, because a lot of people are feeling triggered right now is what I'm getting, to compare. Working with the Gemini energy, and by reminding yourself, you're going into the equilibrium. Okay, the Seraphim, Seraphiel also came through. Tune into the divine will, open to higher illumination. So this has to do with opening up the the upper chakras, lighting up your way if you resonate. And the last one was Archangel Gursisa. Create a solid spiritual foundation, be in service to the planet. So this card especially is the 144,000. So this is not for everyone. This is for a very particular small group. So if you resonate with this energy here, and the energy of the Stonehenge, this energy is for you, and you may want to connect with Gursisa for becoming the stronger channel, the spiritual channel, be of service to the planet right now at this time with your unique frequency that you already embodied, okay, that we need for Lionsgate is what I'm guided to share. So this came through. To work with these energies, also with, this dragon energy and the archangel rays, different color rays, the lights. What came through was the throat chakra that we are activating right now, and with that, the Yeshua came through. And basically, in order for us to open up our upper chakras, that is tied to the peace within. That is the energy of abundance within. So living with constant blessings and energy of abundance is in opening up our upper chakras. And in order for us to do that, what we need to do is we need to balance our root and connect that to our heart. So these are in alignment. Okay, so that is what is taking place right now energetically, and not everyone in the collective will have embodied this along with the ascension timeline, just a very smaller group. But on a collective level, this information needs to be shared. Okay, and so even though you may feel like you are also in the process of a lot of healing and having to embody this energy, you can still do this chakra work and continue to heal. Continue to go in, look into your shadow aspect, your subconscious beliefs, and do the chakra working. So especially the voice came through to open up our throat chakra to further activate the third eyes from a channel message when I was outside connecting with Gaia and Source yesterday. Okay, so something that you can use is your own sound. So for some reason, I've been intuitively doing Om chanting the past few days, and later that message came through as confirmation. So eventually, a lot of people in the collective is going through a spiritual awakening phase in one way or another that is unique to that person. And when you do Om chanting, you are going into your own source within. That is the source, the fractal of the source that connects you to the energy of everything that is nothing, that is who you really are, that is the eternal evolution, the infinite potentiality, okay, that we are constantly growing and evolving. There's no end, no beginning, that concept, the infinity symbol, right? And so you want to use that Sanskrit word that is connected to the energy of the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye. And so root is called Lam, L-A-M, Lam. Okay, the sacral is Vam, V-A-M. Solar plexus is Ram, R-A-M. Here heart is Ham, H-A-M. This is Yam, Y-A-M. This is Om, O-M. Okay, so what you can do is you can use your own vocal cords, that is the Yeshua, that is the Christ consciousness energy. Open up this by using your own sound because you're the instrument. You are the channel. So you say Lam, and as you do so, you want to close your eyes so the energy immediately can go inward so that you can integrate better with your third eye and focus on the energy inward. Lam, okay, Lam. And then you feel the vibration there, and then you move to Vam, Vam. Feel the energy in the sacral, and you move to Ram, Ram. You feel the energy in the sacral, and then you move to Hum, Hum, and you feel the energy here, and then you move to Yam, Yam, Yam. You feel the vibration here, connect to it, and then you go Om. You feel the vibration here. And what you can do is you can do this as you can do like Lam, Vam, Ram, Ham, Yam, Om, and then all together you can bring in and align Aum, Aum. You can move the energy up and down, okay? That's how you train yourself, okay? And you feel the energy moving up and down, up and down. And that's how you start connecting with your own physical vessel. That where we are wounded, we learn to disconnect from our body. But now you're grounding that energy in while you're aligning, connecting, and rooting. So especially if you do this out in nature, which I did, as you walk on barefoot in nature, or just sitting down barefoot or touching a tree, you can do Aum, Aum. You can feel energy being cleared up. And also in public space, if you're clairsentient, empath, energy sensitive, any clears, you will feel and sense all these energies, and you will naturally and intuitively feeling pulled to clear the energy before you're sitting down on a public chair or something like that, right? Something that you can also do is just say Om, and then command that all the lower vibrations are being cleared, and that it's being shined with energy of blessings and positivity to transmute the energy. Or you can bring in fire dragon to burn away and transmute any of the lower energies in that space. Okay, when you're in the public space is also something you can utilize. And you know, you can carry like a bell or a charm to clear the energy, but you know, sometimes it's not available. Then you can use your own vessel as an instrument, and you can always create and purify the energy field around you, inside you. Okay? Om. Wow. And also what I was doing is I was doing Om and moving the energy up and down. The light language came through. So if that is coming through, I'm going to share that. If not, okay, I understand that it's divinely, everything is divine guidance. Okay, so let me see if I'm guided to share that as well at this time. Okay, so I'm going to help you align, and then also, okay, transmit something. Om. 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 So the energy is coming through the dragon realm right now. The air energy, air dragon is coming through. I'm just going to let the energy come through because they're all coming through. Okay, so somehow it's been coming like that, so I'm just going to let it be that. So if you resonate, it may be for you. If you do not, you know, it's for someone else. So just honor your own choice making at this time, okay? Somehow it's making me laugh because this is more like a playful energy that is coming through, that allow yourself to play while you're doing Om chanting. And that how we've been perceiving in survival is that we've always been perceiving everything as difficult, everything as hard. That's where we are feeling stuck or running away or postponing something or afraid to look at something. But actually to embody this energy, it's like just see that as a little inner child, your little child self, playing on board, skateboarding or snowboarding or surfing or on board game or something like the balancing game. You're just laughing. You're not afraid of falling, or you're not judging whether you did this right or wrong, right? That's all came in later as programming. And before we were just having fun, and that's our essence. And another message that with the Lao Tzu that is coming through for me to share is, especially with the Gemini energy of nervousness and tension, you want to use your breath to allow yourself to relax and release. What is meant for you always is for you. What is meant for you never misses you. Okay? Always come back. What is meant for you. And trust in that knowing. And also with that, nature is never in a hurry, yet everything is accomplished. That energy, as you connect with Gaia, Earth, energy, the Gaia's heart in the inner earth, that you're connecting to it as you're walking on barefoot, intending to connect with energy of Gaia, with Christ consciousness light, you can say, I am the golden ray of Christ consciousness. I am the golden ray of Christ consciousness. I am the golden ray of Christ consciousness. 3 times, and visualize this beautiful golden white, pure white light coming down from source, pouring down onto you, and you are embodying that light. Okay? And as you do so, you now remember that you are the ease and relaxation. That is the natural state. Our natural state is ease, relaxation, that everything is accomplished easily, right? Everything is easy. That is the energy of the new earth. Easing through, flowing, releasing all the energy of desperation, lack, assuming difficulties or hardships, right? That is creating that you need to push through. You need to force, you need to fight. We're removing that energy and use the energy or receive the support from the dragon realm with all the energies that I've shared, that brought in here, and make sure that you're always thanking all these angels, archangels, dragons, unicorns, source, Gaia, whenever you are connecting, they're supporting you. Always remain in the energy of gratitude. Make sure you thank them, okay? Make sure you exchange love and gratitude in giving and receiving, in honoring each other's energy, that will allow you to also stay in balance energetically, okay? And embody this energy and operate from this energy of sincerity. When you say thank you, when you say I love you, make sure you're tuned into the energy first within and express that outwardly. That is in alignment, okay? From the heart center. Speak from the heart. No more from the mind in automation, but from the heart, okay? That is the last message that is coming through. And especially moving towards the full moon in Capricorn. Also, what I'm going to share is that you want to connect with the energy of the moon and utilize the energy to reflect, okay? In the evening, at night, early in the morning, especially. It could be very useful that way. Time to meditate, meaning have fun discovering what these emotions are telling you that you are working with, okay? Working with is the key word, not working on, but working with, side by side, simultaneously. Enjoy this process of releasing is also what I'm going to share, okay? So you can also enjoy, and when you have the perspective, you're no longer going to feel the burden anymore, and it's going to help you allow to flow through a little bit more easily, okay? So that you feel less frustration because you're letting go of control, okay? So that is what I have for you today. And I hope this helps, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.